brothers, siblings, people of the world, we're uniting today in solidarity with Palestine. We will not stop till Palestine is free. We gather here today when hundreds of thousands of people are marching all around the world in solidarity with Palestine. Hundreds of thousands of people are in Washington, D.C. in solidarity with Palestine. I saw this morning on British TV, people are blocking the intersections in London, shutting down train stations, because the politicians are not listening to us. They're standing by while a genocide is being committed in Gaza. And we, the people of the world, are saying, stop that genocide. And you know what? We are the majority, including in the United States. 66% of people in the United States want an immediate ceasefire of the war in Gaza. But the politicians, from Sanders to Ballin to Welch to Biden, are at best saying, we want to pause. Give me a break. What does it mean to ask for a pause in a genocide? The only solution is to stop the genocide, let the aid in, free the people, end apartheid, end the siege of Gaza, and fight for a free Palestine. My name is Ashley Smith. I'm part of the Tempest Collective, and along with Jamie Spector from Jewish Voice for Peace, we are the two MCs for the first part of the march today, and we want to extend a welcome to all of us, black, brown, Asian, white, people of the world united for Palestine. What we're going to do today is we will have a rally here with about 7 or so speakers, and then we're going to march through Burlington, by the Federal Building, by Sanders' office, by City Hall, by Balance office, and we're going to demand of them all, stop this genocide now. But first, I want to begin with a land acknowledgement, because we are on indigenous land, like Israel is on indigenous land. We are on the historical homeland of the Western Abenaki people. We honor the Abenaki's rich history as the traditional and ongoing stewards of these lands. We know that this land is unceded. European colonialism carried out massive violence, ethnic cleansing, and genocide to steal that land. The U.S., a colonial and imperial power, continues this. We honor both the historical and ongoing resistance of the Abenaki people and other indigenous people to settler colonialism. We support their struggle for justice and self-determination. We commit ourselves to active solidarity with all struggles for indigenous rights, from Burlington to Palestine. So we, with lots of other organizations, which we'll thank in a moment, about 25 different organizations, came together to organize this emergency rally in solidarity with Palestine. And our main slogan is Stop Israel's Genocidal War on Palestine. Israel has declared total war against the people of Gaza. It has carried out attacks in the West Bank and into the surrounding region, with the full military, economic, and diplomatic support of the United States. The Israeli military is killing thousands of Palestinians, destroying schools, bombing mosques, hospitals, churches, and houses, and it's forced nearly 1 million people from their homes in northern Gaza. We must stand with Palestinians in Gaza, in historic Palestine, and throughout the world. Our main demands today are: 1, stop Israel's genocidal war; 2, end the siege of Gaza; 3, provide immediate humanitarian aid to Gaza; 4, defend the civil rights of Palestinians and Palestine solidarity activists; 5, stop all aid to Israel. 6, enforce boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
All right, I'm going to now hand it over to Jamie.
Thank you so much for being here today. We had a huge amount of support for this action today from so many organizations around the state. So I just want to thank our sponsors for today, just to show us all who is actually with us. Vermonters for Justice in Palestine. UVM, Students for Justice in Palestine. Jewish Voice for Peace, Vermont, New Hampshire. The Howard Center Union. AFSCME, 1674. Migrant Justice, Freeport, Vermont. The Tempest Collective. Champlain Valley Democratic Socialists of America. UVM, Young Democratic Socialists of America. The Party for Socialism and Liberation. The Will Miller Social Justice Lecture Series. People's Kitchen. The Education Justice Coalition. Ben & Jerry's Scoopers United Union. Rural Vermont. Cooperation Vermont. Code Pink. Vermont Peace and Anti-War Coalition. Safe Landing, VTV. The Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. Green Mountain Veterans for Peace. Vermont Communist Party. St. Michael's College Diversity Coalition. Burlington Tenants United. Vermont Workers Center. And the UVM Union of Students. I think it's noteworthy that the unions are really stepping up now. We need that more and more. I wanted to announce a few actions coming up. So first, coming up this Thursday, November 9th, there's going to be a rally at the steps of Burlington City Hall at 5:30. Never again for anyone. We're calling on congressional leaders for an immediate ceasefire, humanitarian aid to Gaza, and no more military aid to Israel. So that's this coming Thursday at 5:30. And then on Sunday at 12, at 1 in the afternoon at the Democracy Creative in the Soda Plant, there's going to be an organizing meeting. So there's flyers about that on the table. There's flyers for the Thursday action around in circulation. And we would love your support to help pay for this rally. So there's some donation buckets here. We'll pass them around. Folks can help move these buckets around, and even just a buck would help. Say it with me. No more weapons, no more war.
No more weapons, no more war.
Peace is what we're fighting for.
Peace is what we're fighting for.
No more weapons, no more war.
No more weapons, no more war.
Ceasefire is what we're fighting for.
Ceasefire is what we're fighting for.
No more weapons, no more war.
No more weapons, no more war.
Peace is what we're fighting for.
Peace is what we're fighting for.
No more weapons, no more war.
No more weapons, no more war.
Ceasefire is what we're fighting for.
Ceasefire is what we're fighting for.
Thank you. So, my name is Jamie, and I'm a member of Jewish Voice for Peace, Vermont, New Hampshire. JVP is the largest progressive anti-Zionist organization in the world. Jewish anti-Zionist organization in the world. We're organizing a grassroots, multiracial, cross-class, intergenerational movement of U.S. Jews in solidarity with the Palestinian freedom struggle, guided by a vision of justice, equality, and dignity for all people. Like generations of leftists before us, we fight for collective liberation by building solidarity across communities, by creating home, safety, and belonging where we land in the diaspora. We believe that through organizing, we can and will dismantle the institutions and structures that sustain injustice and grow something new, joyful, beautiful, and life-sustaining in their place. And I just want to say, one of the things we're doing here today is we are changing the narrative around this conflict. This is not a religious struggle. This is not a religious conflict. This is a struggle against a settler colonial project. And just as we struggle against settler colonialism around the world, we struggle in Israel and in Palestine. And Zionist forces will try to divide us and will try to pit us against each other, but we're here to say that we won't accept that.
That's right.
And when we chant from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, this is not some attack on Jewish people. Folks want us to believe that this is some existential threat for Jewish people, but I say this is an existential threat, yes, but it's an existential threat against the settler colonial project. This is what they're threatened of. And so today, as we're marching, and we have a contingent here from JVP, we're marching together, and we will say that chant, and we will say it proudly, knowing that what we mean is that everyone will be free in Palestine.
That's right.
The land will be free in Palestine, free of walls, free of detention centers, free of checkpoints, free of bombing.
That's right.
It's now my honor to call up our first speaker, my friend Wafiq Faoud from Vermonters for Justice in Palestine.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for everybody came here. Assalamu alaikum. قد أخسر الدنيا نعم قد أخسر الدنيا نعم لكنني أقول الآن لا يا آخر الطلقات لا يا ما تبقى من هواء الأرض لا غزة لا حاصر حصارك لا مفر اضرب عدوك لا مفر سقطت ذراعك فالتقطها وسقطت قربك فالتقطني واضرب عدوك بي فأنت الآن حر وحر قتلاك أو جرحاك فيك ذخيرة فاضرب بها عدوك حاصر حصارك بالجنون ذهب الذين تحبهم ذهبوا فإما أن تكون أو لا تكون. The mask has fallen. I might lose the war, yes, but now I say no. It is the last pronouncement, no. It is all that is left from the breath of the soil, no. It is that is left from the pieces of my soul, no. Gaza No. Siege your besiege, Gaza. No other choice. Fight your enemy, Gaza. No other choice. Your arm has fallen, so pick it up. So pick it up and fight your enemy with me, for you are now free. Free, free. Martyrs and wounded are endowment within you. Fight your enemy. No other choice. Those you loved are gone now, so it is either to be or not to be. My sisters, my brothers, my siblings, thank you, Vermont. You showed up when we needed you. Did you see the children of Gaza lately? Did you see the modern genocide? Are you witness? Yes. Are you witness? Yes. I didn't hear our representative on the state of Vermont that they saw that. They speak of a progressive voice. They speak of selective justice. Palestinians are absent.
That's right.
Are we going to stay absent? No! Are we going to die alone?
No!
Are we going to count Palestinians? How many Palestinians should die before we say Palestinian rights are must? What is it? What is wrong with this country? To the young people and older people here, all generations, you are witnessing the white Western civilization 101. This is your history. You're killing us. This is your money. Your representative voted for more money, more weapons immediately. They are hesitant to call the genocide by its name. Stop this genocide.
That's right.
It's your responsibility. It is each one of you. I didn't lose hope. My hope is with Gaza, and we will get what we want. I am afraid and scared that after this rally, after all these activities, you're going to leave us alone. No! Are you going to leave us? No! We have to fight here. Here we have to fight. The Zionist institutions are all over these towns.
That's right.
Your colleges are controlled by Zionist power. Your tax money are controlled by the Zionists in here. You want to help us? If you are a student, come with us. Join Students for Justice in Palestine. Organize and make the institution, if it is Middlebury or UVM or any small institution, and adopt boycott, divestment, and sanction.
That's right.
Boycott Israel and boycott Islam. If you are the Lincoln resident, join us, Vermonters for Justice in Palestine, and come and sign our petition to make this community apartheid-free community, where all of us, we can live free, we can live equal. This country and our indigenous people on this country, I appreciated them. We are coming at the end of the month to something you call Thanksgiving. but we call it's the mourning day of this country. It's the sad day of this country. We have to stand with our indigenous people. We have to stand with our sisters and brothers and siblings on a black community. We have to stand with our migrants. We are the people. And we have to stand with the courageous Jewish community who are standing for Palestine. We have to be one. And we have to say it loud. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free, 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 free Palestine!
What do we want? BDS. When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
BDS!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
BDS!
When do we want it?
Now!
I say that because we're going to have a couple of speakers from the student movement here in the state of Vermont. But before I introduce them, I want to call attention to what our sisters, brothers, and siblings are doing in the labor movement. There is an Israeli ship on the west coast of the United States that cannot find a dock. Why? Because Palestine solidarity activists have set up pickets at all the ports on the west coast of this country. And the ILWU, the Union of Dock Workers, will not cross that picket line. So that Israeli ship that wants to arm the genocide can't find a port. We need to do that everywhere. No freedom of movement for Israeli ships in our ports. No transportation of arms to Israel. We have to act. The Congress people are not acting. We have to. And our sisters and brothers and the siblings in the labor movement on the West Coast are showing the way. We have the power to stop them from delivering the arms. Now I want to call up two representatives of the student movement here in Vermont.
There is nothing that we can say up on this stage here today that speaks louder than the presence of every single one of you. Each and every one of you standing in the crowd today sends a clear message to those in power that we are no longer going to tolerate this. We are done watching our brothers and sisters and siblings being slaughtered in Palestine. We are done watching our tax dollars pay for weapons of genocide. Every one of you standing up today marks a turning point. The people are waking up. They are fighting back. We will fight for Palestine. We will fight until we have nothing left to give. We fight because we know that when we fight for Palestine, we fight for ourselves too. The people of the world are realizing the material connection between our struggle and the struggle for Palestinian liberation. It is one struggle against imperialism, one struggle against colonialism, one struggle against the military-industrial complex, against racism, against genocide. This is a turning point. We have always known that we are the majority, but this is the moment where we say, we are no longer afraid.
That's right.
The tactics are no longer working that are used to repress us. The propaganda, the doxing threats, the smear campaigns, the surveillance, we are no longer intimidated. We are not outnumbered. We are out-organized. And this is where we begin.
That's right.
Please raise your fist in the air and repeat after me. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support each other.
We must love and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Thank you. We will see a free Palestine within our lifetime.
I am unapologetically Palestinian. Because my grandmother was expelled from her home 75 years ago. Because my grandfather is never allowed to return to his home. Because my father never got to grow up in a land of his own. Through my phone screen, I am once again seeing Gaza being destroyed, building by building. Through my phone screen, I am watching Palestinians like me get killed, family by family. Through my phone screen, I watch occupation forces attack journalists, protesters, civilians, ambulances, hospitals, refugee camps, and no one with power seems to care. In every image and video out of Gaza, I see my sisters, I see my dad, I see my grandparents, my uncles, aunts, cousins, and I think about how that could have been us. And I wonder what has happened to humanity to see these lives, our lives, as less valuable. We were not born to die, we deserve to live. My Palestinian brothers and sisters deserve to run around and be kids. They deserve to get medical care without being blocked by checkpoints. They deserve to play soccer on the beach with their siblings without being killed by an airstrike. They deserve to go to sleep at night, and they deserve to wake up in the morning. They deserve to live. They were not born to die. We deserve to live. We were not born to die. Thank you.
Next, I want to call on my friends from Jewish Voice for Peace, up from Brattleboro, Naomi Ulian and Alex Fisher.
Wow. Hi. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Alex Fisher, and I'm a queer, Sicilian, Ashkenazi Jew currently living on Abenaki land in Brattleboro, Vermont. The bombing of Palestine does nothing to make me feel safe as a Jew. I am here to say, and have been saying, for as long as it needs to be said, end the occupation of Palestine. I was raised in a household that didn't speak of Palestine. The Zionism in my Jewish community was not one of hatred, but of erasure. When I learned about Israel's occupation of Palestine in my early 20s, I was so heartbroken by the atrocities done in my name that I left Judaism. What brought me back to myself and my ancestors was learning that I could be both anti-Zionist and Jewish. That I could be among other Jews who practice traditions thousands of years old, including the practice of solidarity with others being persecuted. According to the Jewish calendar, we are in the year 5784. Zionism was started less than 200 years ago, and Israel less than 75 years ago. L'dor v'dor, from generation to generation, means that we as anti-Zionist Jews are not breaking with our tradition, but carrying forward the work of Tikkun Olam, the fight for a just and healed world. We can see that the power of the Zionist narrative is waning globally, and I am so proud to be a member of Jewish Voice for Peace, fighting together for a free Palestine and an end to the occupation.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, my name is Naomi. I'm an artist and an herbalist. I live in Dummerston on the West River on the land of the Abenaki people. My grandparents met at a Hanukkah party in Basel, Switzerland, having escaped Kristallnacht and the Anschluss, the Nazi annexation of Austria. In Switzerland, neutral ground, no one attacked them, but neither were they allowed to work or make a life. They came here, eventually, after a decade in limbo. My grandfather was a pediatrician. My grandmother worked as a docent at the art museum. And their pain was enormous my entire life. The artist's tasks are many, including to tell a truth. One truth: my grandparents did not survive extermination for me to export their pain onto other marginalized people. Their trauma is mine to metabolize, and I will never consent for it to be leveraged to justify the terror of another. What was done to us should end with us and never be reproduced.
That's right.
What was done to us should end with us and never be reproduced. In Olam Haba, in the world to come, there will be artists. May the artists tell stories of justice. May Palestine live long and make art. And may we Jews in diaspora support Palestinian freedom and flourishing. We all deserve to live to see the world to come. Perhaps I can be even more explicit. I see all around me a large gathering of Vermonters, Palestinians and Jews and allies, and we demand an immediate ceasefire, a halt to all U.S. military aid to Israel, and an end to the occupation, because Palestine will be free.
Next, we have a statement from Migrant Justice. Before I read it, I want to raise the chant. From Palestine to Mexico, apartheid walls have got to go.
From Palestine to Mexico, apartheid walls have got to go.
From Palestine to Mexico. From Palestine to Mexico. From Palestine to Mexico.
From Palestine to Mexico.
All right, here's a statement from Migrant Justice. They would have been here today, but they're having an organizing meeting because they're waging a multi-year campaign to get Hannaford Supermarket, which is owned by a multinational corporation, to join Milk with Dignity. When they march on Hannaford, I want to see all of you there on that march. Because Hannaford is doing an injustice to the people who work on the farms and in the fields of Vermont. Our milk comes from sweated labor, undocumented labor that are kept as second-class citizens in our state, and we will not stand for it. So we are going to go out. Every time Migrant Justice calls for a march on Hannaford, everybody should turn out. So here's their statement that they sent to us. Migrant Justice is with the people of Palestine. The voice of our community calls out to resist. We are united in our demand for a ceasefire. Stop the genocide. The lust for power oppresses our people. This system controls and oppresses us using destruction as a tactic, squeezing every resource out of us from our bodies. It takes the money from our pockets to build walls and divisions, to make weapons, to train officers that commit violence on our communities, to kill us when we disobey, to frighten us, to silence us. Enough death, enough denial. We demand freedom. Freedom for Palestine. Freedom from the bloody hands of our oppressors. Freedom for our people. We are are with you, Palestine. We plead with you, Palestine. We resist with you, Palestine. From Palestine to Mexico. From Palestine to Mexico. From Palestine to Mexico.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to bring up some of our union folks. From Ben & Jerry's Scoopers United Union, Rebecca Mendelson, and from AFSCME 1674, Amanda Calder.
Good afternoon. My name is Amanda Calder. I am a direct support professional at Howard Center. Members of my union, AFSCME Local 1674, voted to endorse this march in solidarity with Palestinians. As human services workers, we come from all backgrounds of our community, and we serve members from all backgrounds in our community. We care for our clients, their families, our communities, and each other every day. Every day we see the lifelong impacts that trauma has on people, including from wars and from living in a society that puts profits before people, divides and oppresses us based on things like class, race, religion, disability, gender, sexuality, language, national origin. A society that produces poverty, wages, billionaires, climate change, wars like this, and a housing crisis that leaves many of us without an affordable or decent place to live. We and other human services workers from around the world, including in Palestine and Israel, stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people in their fight for freedom and dignity and for their human rights to be respected. We mourn for all of the dead in this conflict, and as the saying goes, we must fight like hell for the living. The only way to have short and long-term security and peace and justice in Palestine and Israel is for everyone's rights to be honored and respected, no exceptions. Never again means never again for anyone. Genocide is always a false solution that pits people against each other. It's about getting rid of a people in order to take their resources and help the rich get richer. And you see that with the companies making money off of this. We must oppose all genocides and all oppressions wherever we find them. As some of you may know, the Palestinian trade unions issued a solidarity call calling on unions and all people around the world to end all forms of complicity with Israel's crimes, including the arms trade. In addition to the longshore workers in the U.S., there are workers' unions in Belgium and Italy committed to not transporting arms to Italy, and there are workers in the U.K. also protesting at weapons manufacturers there. In the U.S., United Electrical Workers and the U.S. Food and Commercial Workers have created a petition calling for a ceasefire. I recommend you look it up and sign it. Oh, sorry. Also, Google and Amazon Web Services workers with the No Tech for Apartheid campaign have reiterated their calls for those companies to cancel Project Nimbus, a $1.2 billion cloud computing contract with the Israeli military providing advanced AI tools. The Alphabet Workers Union and Amazon Labor Union support their campaign. Starbucks Workers United made an excellent solidarity statement, as well as AFT Locals and the National Writers Union. These are all the ones I could find online last night. And I recommend people look up the Starbucks Workers United statement. Unfortunately, Starbucks has opted to continue its union busting by suing the union for its statement, which is utterly disgusting. So today I'm standing in solidarity with Starbucks workers as well. When workers are united, we'll never be defeated, and millions of dollars that we should be using for our needs here and for humanitarian aid for Palestinians are being spent on wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and to countries like Saudi Arabia and Israel with more weapons to hurt more people and dispossess people of their land. President Biden, Senator Sanders, Senator Welch, and Representative Ballant Push as hard as you can for a full ceasefire, humanitarian aid, hold Israel accountable for its violations of international law, and stop all U.S. military aid to Israel. Thanks everyone for being here, and let's keep supporting each other. This is a hard step. Let's keep supporting each other, listening to each other, supporting people we know in Palestine, Israel, and around the world who are being affected by this, and let's bring more people to our next protest. And this is my union sibling from Scoopers United, who's also going to make a statement.
Hi all, I'm Becca. On October 9th, my union, Workers United, Rochester Regional Joint Board, produced a statement condemning Israel's apartheid occupation of Palestine. Though revolutionary for the labor movement, the statement was relatively vague. Now, independent of my union, as a labor organizer and union member myself, I want to address that in environments such as this, vagueness and neutrality is violence. Their statement only begins to cover what is needed in terms of support of Palestine. I am proud of what Workers United tried to do, but I know that there is need for improvement. Transsectionality without activism demands Transsectionality within activism demands that the labor movement cannot just decide which causes to support and which to ignore for public palatability. It is a true shame that their statement had to be strategically neutral due to the internal and external institutionalized fear rooted in imperialism and Islamophobia, and even passes statements such as theirs, which was subject to the lawsuit from Starbucks, which has effectively silenced our entire board, including myself, holds power. So for the workers rising with the support of that union, currently working for minimum wages, the established unions dependent on the support and guidance of the staff, and for the labor activists trying to educate themselves, it is not my place to threaten their safety, but I personally urge everyone here to remain critical of these statements, or lack of, in regards to support for Palestine. Remember that the labor movement is not defined by leaders afraid to speak out for what's right, because we are the labor movement, and we, the workers, can be here today in support. I am here today in support. I'm incredibly proud to have been able to speak on Palestine today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca and Amanda. I think what they're doing underscores the urgency of this moment, because the workers' movement knows no borders. The workers' movement is wounded by division. Only when we unite and fight together against our exploiters and oppressors can we win. So the labor movement in the United States too long has been captive to officials that have been captive to the Democratic Party, that have been captive to the Zionist establishment that is the backbone of U.S. imperialism in the Middle East. It is now time to free the labor movement of its captivity with Zionism. That's why the dock workers shutting down the ports matters. That's why the Belgian workers refusing to deliver arms matters, because that's where our power is. So if you are in a union, force your union to deal with Palestine. It cannot be allowed to be a third rail in the labor movement. It must be front and center. Next, I want to introduce Nolan Rampy, who is a member of the executive board at the Howard Center Union 1674 and a member of the Tempest Collective.
Right now, as we speak, 2.2 million Palestinians are being indiscriminately bombed by Israel. Half of them children. More than 1 million Palestinians in Gaza have already been internally displaced. 2.2 million Gazans are being denied access to food, to water, to fuel. Gaza's only cancer treatment center recently shut down because it no longer has the fuel to operate. We must be clear that this is a genocide It is war crimes, and it is being carried out every step of the way by our government. Billions of dollars every single year from our government has gone to support this war machine and maintain the oppression of the Palestinian people. And our government's response to this, Sanders' response to this, Leahy's response to this, has been horrible. They should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. Unfortunately, though, it seems like they're not, and so it's going to be our job to march today and shame them. It's crucial for us to understand the reason that our government has backed Israel all of these years. And it is because of the bargain that Israel will be the backer of U.S. imperialism in the Middle East. And in exchange for backing U.S. imperialism, the U.S. will both fund politically, militarily, economically, the displacement and the genocide of the Palestinian people. That means that if you are anti-imperialist, you must support the liberation of the Palestinian people. You cannot be anti-imperialist, a true anti-imperialist, without supporting their liberation. If you are horrified by what's happening to the Palestinian people right now and you want to see it end, you must support their liberation. If your heart breaks for the civilians in Israel that were killed on October 7th, you must support the liberation of Palestine. Because one thing that the Palestinians have made clear over decades is that they will never, ever accept their subjugation. They will never accept their oppression. They will always continue to struggle. And that means true peace means supporting the liberation of Palestine, period. And so I want to thank everyone for coming out today. It's truly amazing to see so many people joining with people all around the world who are standing up in solidarity with Palestinians. This is an amazing event, but there's going to need to be many more because this is a long struggle that we have ahead of us. But we can do it if we stand in solidarity with one another and in solidarity with Palestinians. Thank you.
We just have one more speaker and then we're going to march and make our voices heard all up and down the streets of Burlington. But I want to make clear what Nolan said. We cannot just say that Israel's carrying out this genocide. The Biden administration is carrying out this genocide. So I want to bring back a classic chant that names our problem. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Biden, Biden, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Biden, Biden, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Biden, Biden, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Thank you. It is now my honor to call up Jana Saf from the Free Her movement. I want to really appreciate Jana as being one of the organizers bringing Mohammed al-Kurd recently. That unfortunately there was a shameful decision by UVM administration to cancel that lecture. appreciate all your work on that.
Hello, everyone. Free Her joins communities around the world in condemning the genocide of the Palestinian people by the apartheid state of Israel. It is important now more than ever to speak up and not allow Palestinians and those who stand in solidarity with them to be silenced. What we are witnessing is genocide, and we must push back against complacent governments, institutions, workplaces, and other sites of injustice. The Israeli government has condemned the Palestinian people as human animals, cut off Gaza's access to food, water, supplies, electricity, have bombed hospitals, residential buildings, among other atrocities. We see the United States and other Western nations complicit with their biased and racist media reporting, framing, and lies in how they show what is happening in Palestine. In the words of Malcolm X, if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Let us remember that the resistance we are observing from the Palestinians is not a random occurrence. It is the result of unending and unrelenting oppression. Do not allow the robust propaganda machines of the West make you waver in your solidarity with the Palestinian struggle. The U.S. is also complicit through its financing of the Israeli occupation. To cite figures from Vermont, it is estimated that through our state's share of federal tax dollars alone, we pay almost $6 million to fund the Israeli military annually. Palestinians have attempted non-violent political actions such as diplomacy, advocacy, protest, and more to address Israel and raise global awareness of their struggle. National leaders across the world have failed them by refusing to acknowledge their calls for freedom. And the recent acts of the Palestinian resistance serve to remind us that they are determined to achieve liberation, and this will not be a cause the world ignores. It is essential we continue to reject the narratives that attempt to demonize the Palestinian people. And quoting from Critical Resistance Statement on Palestine, history tells us that whenever communities and movements start to build enough power to challenge dominant capitalist or imperialist interests, they get labeled as terrorists. We must learn from past lessons and stand in solidarity with anti-apartheid movements across the globe and not succumb to pro-Israeli powers that seek to silence us. Let us learn directly from those most impacted. Let us lift up the voices of our Palestinian siblings to bring light to truth, and let us not stop until Palestine is free.
All right, everybody, are you ready to march? Are you ready to lift up your voice for Palestine? Are you ready to fight until Palestine is free?
Every time the media lies, a neighborhood in Gaza dies. Every time the media lies, a neighborhood in Gaza dies. Every time the media lies, a neighborhood in Gaza dies. Every time the media lies, a neighborhood in Gaza dies. Every time the media lies, a neighborhood in Gaza dies. 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 Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Israel, Israel, what do you say? Israel, today. Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Biden, Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. From Burlington to Palestine, genocide is a crime. 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 What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! Now! Free, free Palestine! End the occupation now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine
make your way towards the Jewish Solidarity banner, that'd be awesome. Now it is my great honor and pleasure to introduce some new friends and siblings from Philadelphia. From the streets of Philly, Las Mariposas Galácticas.
Solo le pido a Dios que el dolor no me sea indiferente, que la reseca muerte no me encuentre vacío y solo sin haber hecho lo suficiente. Solo le pido a Dios que la guerra no me sea indiferente, que es un monstruo grande y pisa fuerte toda la pobre inocencia de la gente, que es un monstruo grande y pisa fuerte toda la pobre inocencia de la gente.
round of applause. Their next song is the anthem of the Italian workers' movement in fighting fascism, Bella Ciao.
Mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor, un partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento vivo. Mañana he despertado, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mañana he despertado y me ha encontrado el invasor, oh compañero, me voy contigo, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella viva, viva Palestina, me voy contigo porque me siento aquí morir. Unida por Palestina, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Gente unida por Palestina y Palestina vivirá. Todos levantamos por Gaza, oh ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Nos levantamos todos por Gaza y Palestina vivirá. Not one more bomb bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Oh, comrade, please take me with you, 'cause I am not afraid anymore. Hey, 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 hey. Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Gaza! Viva, viva Gaza! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Muchas gracias! De norte a sur, de este a oeste, ganaremos esta lucha, cueste lo que cueste. De norte a sur, de este a oeste, ganaremos esta lucha, cueste lo que cueste. Up, 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 up with liberation, down, down with occupation. 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 Thank you, everyone.
Give it up for las mariposas galácticas! We need music in our struggle for liberation. Gracias! This is our second half of the rally, introducing Jaina and Jojo as our new MCs.
Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for an energizing and uplifting march. And special thanks to our marshals, de-escalators, street medics, all the people that made it possible for us to do that safe. So we want to do a few little cheers to get the energy going. Viva, viva Palestina! 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 Okay, so we want to stop Israel's genocidal war on Palestine. Israel has declared total war against the people of Gaza. It has also carried out attacks in the West Bank and into the surrounding region. With the full military, economic, and diplomatic support of the U.S., the Israeli military has killed thousands of Palestinians, destroyed schools, hospitals, mosques, churches, and houses, and forcing hundreds of thousands of people from their homes. We must stand with Palestinians in Gaza, historic Palestine, and throughout the world. Woo! Once again, to share our demands: stop Israel's genocidal war, end the siege of Gaza, provide immediate humanitarian aid to Gaza, defend the civil rights of Palestinians and Palestine solidarity activists, stop all aid to Israel, enforce boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel. And we need to keep this momentum going, so please continue organizing with us. Join us for an organizing meeting on Sunday, November 12th at 1 p.m. Thank you so much. At Democracy Creative in the Soda Planet. There are flyers at the coalition table with more information. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine!
All right, thanks for coming out today. Woo! Just a quick statement before I announce our list of sponsors and thank them all. The dialogue I've been having with my family and peers has been really disturbing because it seems to isolate what's happening now from decades of ongoing violence and oppression. Viewing violence in an absolute vacuum. Palestinians have been dying every single day, so when people ask for peace,
or an end to all this. What they're asking for is for Palestinians to go back to dying every single day quietly and silently so they don't have to see it on their feed or see it on their stories or talk about it or even think about it. There has never been peace. It's not a dispute about land. It's about if Palestinians have the right to exist. Thank you. And I just want to thank again the sponsors so much for helping with this event. I'm just going to go ahead and list them, give a shout after each one. I want to thank Vermonters for Justice in Palestine. Woo! UVM students for Justice in Palestine. Jewish Voice for Peace, Vermont, New Hampshire. The Howard Center Union. AFSME 1674. Migrant Justice. Free Her, Vermont. The Tempest Collective. Champlain Valley Democratic Socialists of America. UVM Young Democratic Socialists of America. Party for Socialism and Liberation. The Will Miller Social Justice Lecture Series. Woo! People's Kitchen. Education Justice Coalition. Ben and Jerry's Scoopers United Union. Rural Vermont. Cooperation Vermont. Code Pink. Vermont Peace and Anti-War Coalition. Safe Landing BTV. The Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. Green Mountain Veterans for Peace. The Vermont Communist Party USA. St. Michael's College Diversity Coalition. Burlington Tenants United. Vermont Workers Center. And last but not least, the UVM Union of Students. Thanks for coming out, and another reminder that we have a bucket for donations to pay for this rally, and we really appreciate the support as it took a lot of organizing to get this together. The donation bucket is at the coalition table. All right. Netanyahu, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
All right, now we're going to start our second round of speakers.
And just a quick announcement, someone lost a phone. So if you're missing one, please come claim it. We'll probably leave it at the coalition table. And also, Las Mariposas Galacticas is playing tonight at 8 p.m. at the Labor Hall in Barrie. If you want to see them again, keep the support going. And let's get into our speakers. So I am so grateful to introduce our first speaker from Burlington Tenants United, April Fisher. To know her is to love her. So April, where are you? Oh, April had to leave for work. Is there anyone else from Burlington Tenants United who would like to speak? Or we'll just move on to People's Kitchen. Okay, let's move on to People's Kitchen.
From People's Kitchen, we have Fareed Munasya. Come on up.
I'm not Fareed, but Fareed is great. He's making more food for everybody. Sorry. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Noor El Nabulsi, and I'm a Palestinian American living here in Burlington, Vermont, on unceded Abenaki land. It's funny how the homeland of my family was taken away so that I now have to occupy another indigenous land. The farmlands of my family were ripped from their hands, so now I have to farm on unceded Abenaki land. It's almost like these colonial powers planned it this way or something. I'm here also as an organizer with the People's Kitchen and the People's Farm Stand. We show our love, we show our solidarity through food and vegetables. If you come to us, we don't care who you are, you will be fed. We reject the notion that value is determined through wealth, race, and other capitalist notions. We want to show out all of our neighbors, our refugee neighbors, our neighbors of color, our houseless neighbors, our queer neighbors, that you are welcome here and you are loved. And that's how I found the People's Kitchen in the first place. As a Palestinian, I felt alone and out of place my entire life. Growing up, I didn't want to be different. I didn't want to be Muslim. I didn't want my family to be attacked because the media labeled my people as backwards, as savages, as terrorists. I even went by my middle name up until a few years ago because I was so afraid of embracing who I am. So to my white allies, if you're feeling sick, fatigued, and depressed by this genocide, welcome to the show. For people of color, my black and brown and indigenous siblings, this is our baseline. And I don't say this to guilt trip you all, not in the slightest. I say this because you all saved me. Black Lives Matter Burlington, the People's Kitchen, Justicia Migrante, Rural Vermont, and now Jewish Voices for Peace, you all saved me. Wafik, Abi, أنا بحبك مع كل قلبي يسلموا يديك. But please don't leave me. Do not leave us ever again. Even if the ceasefire comes tomorrow, please do not leave us alone. Palestinian children fight for their lives every single day, and we need you to keep the fight with us and end the apartheid, which is the root cause of this nightmare. Thank you. Shukran.
Thank you so much for such an amazing statement. So next we have the Champlain Valley Democratic Socialists of America, Antonio Golan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Antonio Golan. I'm speaking on behalf of Champlain Valley DSA, the local Democratic Socialists of America chapter. I'm here to say on behalf of all of us that we stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people at this time and in the future. And I also want to kind of take this moment to emphasize something that's already been said a few times, and emphasize the parallels between the foundation of the State of Israel and the foundation of the United States. Both are colonial settler states. Both are predicated on the removal and genocide of the indigenous people. And what Israel is doing today in Palestine is what the United States has historically done to native populations. And I emphasize this to sort of remind everyone that while we're told this conflict is complicated, it is anything but. It is actually quite straightforward as any political issue could possibly be. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that speech. And the next speaker, I'm going to introduce Sarah Brooks from the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Thank you everybody for coming today. This is amazing turnout that we've had. I'm not sure if I'm standing in the right place for these speakers to cooperate. So we've all seen the videos and photos of the massacre and the genocide happening right now. More than probably 9,000 Palestinians killed so far. The official number is 8,500, including 3,500 children. Israel has doubled the number of Palestinians held in custody to 10,000. Among them, 170 are children, 4,000 are laborers from Gaza unlawfully detained. And just a few days ago, Biden said that he doesn't believe these numbers from the Palestinian Health Ministry. Shame on him. He's lying, he's a bold-faced lie, and he's delegitimizing Palestinians even in death. Israeli prisoners released testified to humane treatment, while Palestinian prisoners are beaten, tortured, sexually humiliated, murdered, and missing altogether. Palestinian prisoners who are released within Israel are being tagged with ID numbers, horrifyingly reminiscent of practices of Nazis during the Holocaust. Shame on them. Disgusting. The Resistance reports that families are writing the names of children on their arms and legs so they can be identified if killed, swapping family members in case entire families are wiped out, trying against all odds to fight ethnic cleansing and genocide. In the United States, we send Israel over $100 billion of our tax money, of our hard-earned money, on top of what we normally send them, and somehow we still don't have money for health care. We still don't have money for student debt relief, and we still don't have money for housing. It's honestly appalling. We're in a crippling economic situation here in the United States, in the so-called land of the free, and all we have money for is sending overseas to commit genocide. And still, I've read countless quotes from Palestinians and organizers here that have Palestinian friends about how one of the best things we can do to help Palestine is to liberate the oppressed people here, to liberate ourselves, to liberate people of color in the United States, and to do international solidarity. This is a historic moment for that. Palestinians and oppressed people all over the world have a right to defend themselves. Oppressed people all over the world have the right to defend ourselves. We have the right to defend ourselves. We're not just defending ourselves against, we're not just defending ourselves, we're defending our planet, and we're defending the sanctity of human life at large. We're fighting climate change too. And these are all interconnected issues. And we stand on the right side of history. Everybody here today. They don't want us to protest, but we shut down boats in Oakland headed to Israel. They don't want us to protest, but Palestinian children are being stabbed to death in Chicago. They don't want us to protest George Floyd, but we occupied this very park for months on end in the bitter cold in the Vermont winter. They don't want us to protest, but we can and we will, and we are here doing it. Today, this event is in solidarity with everybody protesting in DC, estimated to be the largest protest for Palestine in U.S. history. Year after year, our government spends more on military than on housing, healthcare, or anything else. The fights against racism and economic exploitation and militarism are all a part of the same fight for what is right. This is a fight we must fight on many fronts. So I'm calling on all of you here, if you're not already, to join a union, join an organization, get involved, and if you feel alone and helpless, this is about this genocide, you will find community in joining an organization, and you will find hope, not by despairing alone, but by coming together with these people who are all around you right here, who want to do something about it. We must build together and organize here and have revolutionary hope, and we say at PSL that we are leaders of the fight to save the world, that we also say that you have to dare to struggle to win. And we also say, hey, hey, ho, ho, capitalism has got to go. And we also say change is gonna come. And we say oppressed people all over the world unite. And we also say, finally, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have the Education Justice Coalition. We have a group of reps coming up from their crew. Woo!
Hey everyone, I just want to make a quick announcement. This Thursday, there's another rally on the steps of Burlington City Hall, "Never again for anywhere, ceasefire now," putting pressure on our congressional leaders. So hope to see you all out Thursday at 5:30. And hey everyone, we are the Education Justice Coalition of Vermont, and we wanted to invite all of our members to stand with us. Anyone else that's here, feel free to come up. We envision collective liberation for all people in a world in which Indigenous, Black, people of color, people with disabilities, immigrants, poor people, and LGBTQIA+ people can thrive in a culture of belonging that is free of bias, discrimination, and oppression. A future where everyone is free includes a free Palestine. Our vision extends beyond the carceral state and the limits of today's repressive systems. Today, we are here to speak out in solidarity with Palestine and make links between this struggle and relevant political struggles in Vermont schools.
Many will call for neutrality in teaching about Palestine and Israel. But to quote Howard Zinn, you cannot be neutral on a moving train. We know that the dominant narrative and the way this issue is being talked about, minimized, or simply ignored in schools is in defense of the occupation and the state of Israel. In defense of colonial imperialism. Now is not a time to look away. Now is not a time to teach silence. Silence is complacency. Silence is violence. While the US government actively and knowingly funds genocide, our schools remain underfunded, our teachers underpaid, and our students underserved.
This December, groups in partnership with the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, will be presenting at the Vermont Social Studies Teachers Conference. One workshop is being taught on anti-Semitism. We are here today in solidarity with Jewish folks violently targeted by anti-Semitism, both historically and presently, and we assert equally strongly that critiques of the state of Israel are not anti-Semitic.
ADL relies on the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. On the description of this definition, on their website, they explain that, quote, certain expressions of animus towards the Jewish state of Israel may at times cross the line into Semitism, close quote. This definition of anti-Semitism has been used to silence critiques of Israel, and court cases have been brought and won in its name. We're putting a call out to everyone to organize in their local community to ensure teachers are not silenced and that the truth about the Nakba, the occupation, this apartheid, and the full history be taught in our schools. May we model to our students to fight for justice.
Schools can either be sites of social replication and oppression or sites of social transformation.
Our students deserve a complete education. They also deserve honest, truthful conversations and deserve a free and war-free future.
All youth deserve a future.
Palestinian children deserve to grow up.
We join in the demand for an immediate ceasefire.
May all children grow up to see a free Palestine.
Thank you very much. All right, next I'm going to be calling up Graham Unance Ruffinot from rural Vermont.
Thank you all. I'm humbled to be here today with you all. My name is Graham Unang-Strufenacht. I'm the Policy Director at Rural Vermont. We work in the realm of food sovereignty. Inherent to food sovereignty are human rights, the rights of peasants, territorial rights, internationalism, and solidarity. Through our membership of the National Family Farm Coalition, we're a member organization of La Via Campesina, one of the largest social movement organizations in the world. And today, I bring you words from a statement made by La Via Campesina on October 27th that contextualizes this in the realm of food. We stand in solidarity with the oppressed and the victims of historic injustice and power imbalance, particularly with the Palestinian people. We reject violence against civilians, and therefore we strongly condemn the Israeli genocidal strategy in Gaza that is currently under a full blockade, added to the 17 years of siege that had already made 65% of Gazans food insecure. This insecurity is the product of weaponization of food by the Israeli occupation to coerce Palestinians into forfeiting their rights. Israel's continuous 17-year blockade has also led to a severe water crisis in Gaza. We believe that addressing food security and the right to food is an integral part of the broader struggle for justice, peace, and the dignity for all. The situation of food insecurity in Gaza is extremely critical. For decades, small producers, including fisherfolk and farmers, have been denied access to their waters, land, and other crucial common goods. Many were killed by Israeli forces while seeking to secure their livelihoods. The Israeli occupation has created a military exclusion zone on almost half of Gaza's arable land, and a maritime buffer zone that allows access to barely 15% of the Mediterranean, which makes it impossible for fishermen to catch an adequate amount of fish to sustain their communities. Since the year 2000, the Israeli occupation has destroyed 3 million fruit and olive trees to displace Palestinian farmers. More than 700 Israeli military checkpoints divide the West Bank, which completely separates the Al-Agwar area that produces 80% of the food of Palestinians. Some 100,000 Palestinian families that depend on olive production are unable to access their lands for the harvest now in Gaza and in the West Bank, primarily due to the thousands of assault rifles that have been distributed by the Israeli government to settlers. Several Palestinians were murdered by Israeli settlers while working on their lands during the past number of weeks in the West Bank. This, added to the blockade on exports and imports, access to food, agricultural inputs, and fuel, and the repetitive aggressions turned Gaza into a cramped, open-air prison where Palestinians suffer collective punishment and are deprived of their rights, including the right to adequate food. The right to food is recognized in the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights and is enshrined in the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, which Israel has signed and ratified 57 years ago. We call upon the global community to use their influence to halt this escalation, to call for an immediate ceasefire, and to return to a process of negotiation and dialogue and end this ongoing occupation and the war against the Palestinian people and support their quest for liberation. And as a member of Rural Vermont, I would just say we will bring this conversation to our congressional delegation. We already have. We're humbled again to stand in solidarity with you all today and say, free, free Palestine.
So much. So next up, we have Dave with the Will Miller Green Mountain Veterans for Peace. Woo!
Thank you. You don't know what you've done for me today by being here. How many are in school? When you get back to the classroom, there's one book that I've enjoyed, and I would challenge all of you to read it and then contact people in power. It's by Barbara Tuchman. You ever hear of her? Well, I'm a reverend, actually, and she is one of my favorite people who claims to be an atheist. But I have found the most religious people among those who claim to be atheists. Barbara Tuchman has written a history, several, but she has shown in her book, she's now deceased, that everyone who is a leader who has forgotten how to wage peace is a person who has forgotten their own soul. That's number one. If you got your soul, and I've heard a lot of dancing and singing for soul, and I think a couple of you are capable. A couple? Maybe a couple like me are not as capable, but the rest of you are. So keep dancing. The second thing is you have to challenge power every day. Maybe some of you heard right here on the radio, that's what I use, a man from the World, was it World Finance, what's that, the World Fund, you know, that runs everything. And he was there for 25 years, and his favorite animal is an orca. Anybody have an orca in mind? Well, he loved orcas, and he was disgusted by working for the World Money Fund, whatever that is. What is it? World Bank, there we go. And he discovered that through money, the world is controlled. So I hope you that takes you, and he was disgusted to find that out. I hope that takes you back to General Eisenhower's farewell speech, which, as every politician is under power, was doctored and was diminished. But that speech told you very clearly the direction for peace in any part of the world. That is, beware of the military-industrial complex. The military-industrial complex, which, and I hug my friend Jimmy Lees, who has worked for years in Burlington to stop the F-35. The city council here in Burlington has showed a streak of my favorite color, but which you interpret differently. Yellow. Cowardice. They have allowed the airport, which is there illegally, to be here in military garb for another 75 years. I won't have the age, I won't have the breath to stop it, but you do. So get to work. We love you. I have so much more I could say, but I know my 2 minutes is up.
Thank you so much. And we have another speaker from Cooperation Vermont, Michelle Edelman McCormick.
Hi everyone, again Michelle McCormick from Cooperation Vermont, and I will keep this super short, shorter than I am. I want to reiterate just a huge word of thanks to the folks who came out today to support this event as part of the community safety team, the people who were marshaling, like the people who came as medics, and just an extra shout out to the people who just saw that there was a need and just jumped right in and started helping to, secure intersections, and that's the energy, that's the love, and that's what we like to see, because we had an amazing turnout today, which is awesome. And so thank you to the core organizing team and all the people who have been working on pulling this event together. So my one thought is kind of along that line of work of what I was just talking about. The reality, in my mind, is that what we're seeing in Palestine right now is an extension of the same settler colonial project that we are standing on right here. Right here. Right here. And it is our capitalist system also, in my mind, right, that is driving the engine behind these oppressive measures that we're continuing to see globally, but here at home as well, right? And so it's one thing for us to be here today, which is right and needed and so, to call for an immediate ceasefire, to call for a free Palestine. But we have to do the work here at home on a daily basis of dismantling this colonialist system and start really asking ourselves, what does it mean on a day-to-day basis right here in our communities to decolonize, right? What does that actually mean? And I would just put that question out for discussion with folks and to think about what it means in my mind to take a decolonialist stance is to really become right here where we are in the places that we reside, right with the land, to be in right relation with the land and to be in right relation with the people we live amongst. That is my project. That is what I work on. And when we think about dismantling the capitalist system, right, like that's a huge project, right? We're just gonna like decolonialize and we're gonna like get rid of this capitalist system. Okay, like what the actual F does that mean on a daily basis, right? We have to start to seed the projects and expose the fissures that are happening right now. Because make no mistake, our capitalist system is in a state of crisis, yay, right? And it is not our job to actually manage the contradictions of capitalism. It's our job to expose them, okay? And so when we think about the work that we do is we're continuing to reach out and to alleviate the worst, things that are happening in our communities as a result of capitalism and this decline into fascism, to always be politicizing the work that we're doing, expose the contradictions, start to build right where you are the systems that we're gonna need, taking like that community care work that happened today. What are we doing in our villages, in our towns, in our neighborhoods, and on our blocks to create those systems of community security and safety that isn't relying on the police, that isn't relying on the prison industrial complex, that isn't relying on these systems of oppression? And I would make one last leap here, and that is to be really cognizant and make the connections between the increase in policing and the prison industrial complex that's happening here in the United States, and to take a look at what's happening with Cop City in Atlanta, right? Israeli security is absolutely consulting on that project, and they have every intention of doing joint training exercises with Israeli security. So as you look at what's happening in Palestine right now, and the open air prisons and the policing measures, note that is coming to a neighborhood near you, right? That is absolutely the trajectory that they're on. And so again, bringing it back home, what are we doing? I encourage everybody who's still, because y'all are obviously the diehards still standing here in the cold, right? Yay you. To bring it out tomorrow in support of the Free Her action. Because if we allow them to build more prisons in Vermont, we're allowing them to continue to escalate these systems of oppression right here at home. And with that, I'm gonna shut up.
Thank you. And for our concluding speech, we have the wonderful Wafiq.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your solidarity. Gaza will hear about it. Gaza waiting for it, and Gaza will hear about it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to end up with a couple of things. A Burlington resident registered for vote didn't sign our petition to put our initiative. Please come to the table and sign and help us put this initiative for March 5th. The people who are registered for vote, and they can, please sign that. The last thing, organizing will continue, and I have to tell you about our meeting. I'm going to tell you about Sunday, November 12th at 1 p.m. at Democracy Creative in Soda Plant. We need your presence. We need your help. It's very hard for me to ask, but because السؤال لغير الله مذلة, but I want to humble myself and ask each one of you, don't leave us alone.
Just a quick announcement before everybody leaves. The marshals counted over 1,000 people on our march today. But one march does not free Palestine. Come to the organizing meeting, join Vermonters for Justice in Palestine, join SJP chapters on your campus, start an organization in your workplace, in your neighborhood, in your community, because we are in a long fight to free Palestine. Thank you everybody so much.